Joe Biden is a creep. He's been a creep for a long time. Left, right, center, up, down, left, right. Everybody knows he's a creep. Why, for the love of God, are people defending him? Well, whatever it is, it's something that the left and the right, the social justice and anti-feminists, whatever you want to call the groups, they can unite that Joe Biden is a creep. But for some reason, the Washington Post, MSNBC, are saying it's just affectionate. Look at this. Joe Biden's affectionate physical style with women comes under scrutiny. Excuse me? His affectionate physical style? You mean like when he walks up to women and grabs them from behind and sniffs them and then kisses them on the head? That's just an affectionate physical style. In some jurisdictions, making physical contact with somebody without their permission is considered assault. It's considered battery. You can't just do that. Listen. Some people have said to me, Tim, don't you understand? Joe Biden's just an old dude. And back in the day, this is what you did. Listen, I don't know what era, maybe the 50s, but if your excuse is that Joe Biden doesn't understand that he's a creep when he's been called a creep for years, if that's your excuse, I'm going to have to call you wrong. So the Washington Post, let's see what they say. In some of the photos, Joe Biden is behind the women, his hands on their shoulders as he whispers in their ears. He embraces Hillary Clinton, his hands around her torso. He kisses young girls' heads, his fingers framing her face as he looks blankly toward the camera. The affectionate and sometimes intimate physical style is one of the former vice president's trademarks. Holy... A defining feature of the warm and upbeat persona he has built during the more than 4 decades in the national spotlight. But the appropriateness of Biden's physical behavior toward women is now being questioned after a female Democratic politician penned a viral internet piece describing an alleged 2014 encounter that left her offended and uncomfortable. As Biden prepares to announce whether he will run for president in 2020, the episode has raised questions about whether the older self-described fingertip politician is well suited for the White House in the wake of the Me Too movement and at a moment of rapidly shifting social norms. Biden, an outspoken critic of domestic violence who led efforts to pass the Violence Against Women Act in 1994, has also faced sharp criticism from women over his handling of the Anita Hill hearings in 1991. Okay, let's clarify something. There's a website someone set up called joebiden.info. And it says, Biden 2020, Uncle Joe is back and ready to take a hands-on approach to America's problems. Joe Biden has a good feel for the American people, and he knows exactly what they really want deep down. He's happy to open up and reveal himself to voters and will give a pounding to anyone who gets in his way. Great. Now let's take a look at what they're describing as just intimate and affectionate. How about him trying to kiss a little girl who pulls away and recoils? How about whatever the hell that is? I don't know what this is. It's not a video, it's just a photo, but I'm kind of weirded out by it. That's a little boy. And this one, look, man, I don't know whose kid that is, but stroking the face of a kid is just weird. Now, I get it. You might be saying, oh, this is just a politician trying to give a kiss to a kid. They kiss babies. Yeah, but look at how often he does this stuff. And look at how often the kids are like, get away from me. Like, ew, no. It's just kind of weird. Look at, she pulls away. We get it. Somebody compiled all of this stuff, and it's not good for Joe. But check it out. We'll scroll down, and we have this. The Daily Show with Jon Stewart in 2015. The audacity of grope. Samantha Bee reports on Vice President Joe Biden's uncomfortable tendency to invade the personal space of women in his vicinity. Invade the personal space. I don't see him walking up to guys and doing the Biden, where he puts his hands on their shoulders, sniffs their head, and kisses them on the head. That is just, it's just not, okay, you know what, man? How about we formally tell Joe Biden that after years of being called a creep, let's just have the formal statement. Joe, stop. Okay, you're done. Let it be known you're acting inappropriately toward women, and I don't know how you didn't get this in 2015 when The Daily Show was making fun of you, but now we have just, like, come on. How many clips of creepy Joe? He's a creep. That's not an endearing smile right there. That's a creepy smile. Micah Brzezinski defended Joe Biden. He's just extremely affectionate, extremely flirtatious in a completely safe way. Oh, okay, Micah. Seriously, I just can't imagine any circumstance where I would walk up to a woman and grab her shoulders and sniff her head and then kiss her head, and that would be appropriate in any way. And I can't imagine someone doing that to me, especially Joe Biden. And that's why he's been recently called out. On Monday, Morning Joe co-host Micah Brzezinski, reacting to a former Nevada State Assemblywoman's tale of former Vice President Joe Biden inappropriately grabbing and kissing her on the top of her head, defended Biden's oft-criticized actions towards women by saying he was just extremely affectionate, extremely flirtatious in a completely safe way. Former Nevada Democrat State Assemblywoman Lucy Flores wrote of her encounter with Biden, and she talks about how she was confused, humiliated, embarrassed. Yeah, Joe Biden, creepy dude. After the story broke, some Democratic presidential candidates criticized Biden. Elizabeth Warren snapped, "I read the op-ed last night. I believe Lucy Flores, and Joe Biden needs to give an answer." Julian Castro, who served as Obama's Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, commented, "We need to live in a nation where people can hear the truth," adding that Flores should be believed. What do you mean she should be believed? Do you want to know why I believe Lucy Flores? Because of this. Because there's tons of photos and videos of Joe Biden doing this. Because The Daily Show made a video about this. Look at, they show the photos. Jon Stewart's making fun of him because he's a creep. Let's talk about Brett Kavanaugh. Should we believe the accusations against Brett Kavanaugh? No. Should we take them seriously? Yes. Up until we do a cursory investigation and we realized several of them were made up outright and some of them were so insane we shouldn't have even taken them seriously. Okay, let me clarify. One of them claimed that Kavanaugh was in like these gang rape parties. Yeah, okay, we don't take that one seriously. That's insane. All right. But we do a cursory glance at some of them. And when it was alleged that he, wrote this Christine Blasey Ford, it's like, okay, we'll look into it. But there's no proof of any of it. So we can't just say, you know what, you said it, it's true. No, we don't. Now, Joe Biden, should we believe Lucy Flores? How is it a question? I mean, you've literally had for years this going on, and there's photos of it. Why would we even question what? Yeah, okay, here we go. Another person claiming Joe Biden's creepy. After the news broke, some yada, yada, they said we should believe her. Leftist website Vox reported of Biden's history with women. Biden's been caught on camera embracing a female reporter from behind and ripping her above her waist just below her bust at a swearing-in ceremony for Defense Secretary Ash Carter. Biden put his hands on the shoulders of Stephanie Carter, Carter's wife, and then leaned in and whispered into her ear. He's whispered into many women's ears. He's also touched women's faces and necks. On Morning Joe, co-host Joe Scarborough stated, "Micah, what do you think? I know you weren't incredibly pleased by what you saw this weekend in the attacks on Joe Biden." She said, "Well, I think this is a very extensive and careful conversation that we need to have. There's a lot of things I know about Joe Biden. I've known him for a long time. He's extremely affectionate, extremely flirtatious. I don't care if you think it's safe. Joe Biden should not be flirting with women in professional settings. Can we draw a distinction here?" She called it a safe way. "I am sure that somebody can misconstrue something he's done. But as much as I can know that what's in anyone's heart, I don't think there is bad intent on his part at all. I read the account and I was like laughing. Yeah, that's Joe Biden." Just because you've accepted that Joe Biden is creepy Uncle Joe doesn't make it okay. Yep, that's him. That's what he does. Tell him to stop. But never thought for a second he meant anything from it except to be nice, to be kind. Scarborough, seemingly implying that inappropriate behavior done publicly was somehow different from that being done privately, added, "We've seen it, Micah, on the television again and again." She's describing a lot. We've had clips of him, and late night comics have clips of him. He has always been very expressive, and he's always been very expressive in public. It's not like he's hiding anything. What? Well, because Joe Biden grabs these women in public and no one calls him out, that must be okay. Brzezinski asked, "Are we really going to do this?" And Democrats, you have to ask yourself, what exactly is the Me Too line you want to draw? Because you will live and die by that line. It's an important line. It's very important. Don't mock it. Is she seriously implying that it's okay to just like walk up to a woman and sniff her head and kiss her on the head? Like, whoa. Okay. She believes Lucy Flores told this story. Lucy Flores, Joe Biden came up behind her, grabbed her shoulder, sniffed her head, and kissed her head. Brzezinski's saying she gets it. She's seen him do it. Oh, that's Joe. What? No one's going to tell this dude to knock it off. But here's what I think's really happening. Tribalism. Micah Brzezinski, Joe Biden's the leading Democrat. They want Democrats to win. He's in first place. They got to help him out. It's tribalism. People are willing to find the worst of the out-group and defend to the death the in-group. Plain and simple. Why is it that Vox is willing to call out Joe Biden? Because they're going to support, Bernie Sanders. Joe Biden is not their pick. So they absolutely love to call out Joe Biden. I don't care who you are, what party you're on. If you're doing creepy stuff like this, I'll make a video about it. Party means nothing to me, and I don't care who wins. I care about who's right. If Joe Biden is doing this, he's wrong. Next. But clearly, you'll have the MSNBC types, who we recently learned has a managing editor who, at the behest of the DNC, was trying to intimidate a journalist, Yashar Ali. So it's no surprise then something like this would happen. But who knows? Because the conspiracy theory is that, this story comes out because, the Democrats want Kamala Harris to win. I have no idea. But come on, are we seriously going to, look, Biden team blames right-wing trolls for creepy Joe photos? Oh, please. You've got Vox coming after you, dude. Don't play that game. We're done. I got one more video coming up in a few minutes. I will see you then.